Everyone. So today I'm with Enrique. So we'll try to get a little chat going about the new features in SmartCash and so on. So you can introduce yourself first, Enrique.
Hello guys, I'm Enrique Souza. I'm a SmartCash developer and a Hive leader as well. In the corporative world, you could say it's something quite like director or something like this. But yeah, we don't like to use these terms. So just a leader and try to manage it the best way I know. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of changes happened recently, Enrique. So can you elaborate on that? Some of the new features that happen, integrations and so on. So can you? What's your favorite one?
Man, like we've done a lot in this version. We changed pretty much everything. And we made SmartCash more compatible. But my favorite is SAPI, like SmartCash decentralized API REST, where you get access to our blockchain without the need to use RPC. For those that don't know what's RPC, it's like the old protocol where you have access. If you have access to the RPC, you have access to the wallet that as well, and the SAP you don't have access to this. So it's much interesting for us because we can actually do much more. And if you're a developer and a crypto enthusiast or just a JavaScript developer or any language developer, you can actually create apps using our system. You don't need to know how the code works. So that's why I love it.
Yeah, so just to put it in simple terms, because I'm sure people get confused about SAPI, they've heard about it, they've kind of seen it when you explain it, when this changed your conference stuff, like what, so what does that do? Like what, like in, so, to simplify it, what does it do like for the regular user, developer, probably?
Oh, actually, I try to simplify the explanation all the time to make it a damn explanation. But to understand SAP, you need to be technical.
Yeah.
It's hard to not be technical. But in the case of your exchange, you don't need to work hard to list it, for example. If you want to get access to our blockchain, you don't actually need to hit sync your own node. You just need to access our SAPI that will be sorted randomly, and you're going to access to our block explorers. So it's easy to decentralize any kind of system. Make, try. I'm honestly trying to make it simple, but you need to be technical to understand SAPI one way or another. It's a REST API for blockchain, which will make easier for us to integrate with Rosetta, for example. That Rosetta is the format of Coinbase, and most of the wallets and exchanges now are trying to get these hybrid APIs because in otherwise it's hard for them to integrate many blockchains. And nowadays we have different blockchains around it, and for them it's easier if they get one pattern and they just plug them all in the same format. So that's why SAP is important as well. And the most exciting feature for us, like SAPI just made it easy for us developers to get rid of our servers. Like in the beginning, we just hosted many servers to run a web wallet or a mobile wallet, but nowadays we don't need any server anymore. So we can create actually decentralized online APIs or mobile APIs without running any server ourselves. I just need to plug to any other node that is online, and we get a wallet working. So that's why it's so important for us. Like yeah, no way to explain this if you're not that.
Yeah, it acts like a bridge and makes it easier for like third party to just connect with kind of the blockchain and then implement their applications, right? So that bridge, I think, could be a good simple word for people to understand it, which allows and down the road easier integrations. Obviously, it's not easier for the developers because they work on the code itself, but yeah, it makes it certainly better for the integrated, like other applications, other companies that want to use the smart cash integrations, explorers and all that, right? So Yeah, definitely something really important that came out of the latest changes, and I think that's great. A lot of work was put in place for that, so definitely. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I think that came up in the Discord or no Telegram this morning, and it was about exchanges. So obviously, everyone likes to get listed on big exchanges, Binance,
Yeah.
Coinbase, and so on. So, what can uh, listing a project and spending a lot of money have as an impact on a project that's just trying to get back up and with the latest changes and so on?
Well, every single person wants a new exchange. What they need to understand is that we need to give the right shot. You know, we're unless we're just throw money from the window. If you get a good exchange, a big name or something, yeah, of course, it's gonna be really good for a SmartCash, but it doesn't pump the price, not at all, not at all. We just had this experience. We just listed in big exchange, and exchange change the ranking all the time as well. What I want people to understand is that we are working on listing SmartCash in many exchanges. And from now on, it's much easier for us to get SmartCash into that as well because of SAPI, because of the uh, compatibility between SmartCash and Bitcoin addresses. So this makes the integration easier and cheaper. So we are looking to that, but that's not going to happen in one day. You know, like even the world was created in one day was seven. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly. So that could be an investment that you don't necessarily get a return from. um I suppose, like early on, you could get like some kind of a pump. Like, I don't like using the word pump, but that's typically what happens, right? So before the news, it actually goes up, and on the news that it gets announced, especially with Coinbase, and then the day, oh yeah, it's listed now, so it drops, and then you're
yeah.
like, then what now? You still have to do the development. You still have to get people on board. Yes, people will, I guess, will see it more, but I guess it doesn't solve the entire problem, So as you mentioned.
We are a long-term project, you know. We're not designed to be a pump and dump coin, not at all. We're not a DeFi that's gonna be there and gonna steal money from many people and then just exit this scam. So from now on, you're gonna hear this story more and more often. Trust me, you're gonna get a lot of money from people like ICO did. Marketing, we already have a name, we already have a respect from people from the community, and we are growing. We're growing in our own time, but we grow. The most important to grow like pumps is to survive. You know, we already survived a huge bear market. You know, what else do you want? Many coins just didn't. They just died. They just um, was abandoned. And we are not. We're still developing. We're still delivering. And that's the most important thing in the project. You know, if it takes a while, it can take a while, but we will get the right price in the right time. So we actually concerned about our price and we're working for it. And actually our price just recovered pretty well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. I don't feel like we're not doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah, exactly. It was a big drop. I think was it last week, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum drove that price down, and on most markets, right? But then, as you said, it seems to be recovering a bit even better than Bitcoin side. So I think Smart at the moment, is doing pretty well on just recovering from that big drop. And I think we've seen that on the entire market. So it's not just like Smart Cash that it happened. Really, it was everywhere. Different coins, Ethereum, you name it. Some maybe less, but overall, I think it was a common problem for everyone. It seems to be the same thing with the stock markets. When it keeps going up, it seems to be everyone's going up positive, and then until it drops like it did before the COVID and all that. That's always something that happened, really.
Yeah,
Um,
the market it's like volatile. It's like it's crypto market, you know, like it's gonna have up and downs. And rewards smart rewards or we're gonna have less and less dump. We just need this to stabilize. It's a process. And from now on, we're going to see the price more stable. And I'm sure that we're going to have more and more holders. And people are going to get interested since they will know that rewards is now a really good staking and passive income that you can get to 40% yearly, you know, like, so it, we just need to spread the word, you know, like spread, and people will come and the price will recover and you're going to have a better position and coin market cap and CoinGecko as well. So it's just a matter of time. I feel we're doing good, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously we've had to talk to a lot of people in the community about the Smartnodes and the rewards recently. So what? So some issues were with the wallet, the new version, and so on. So what's just to tell the audience what's being worked on, just to fix that, so people can recover their Smartnodes and get it going again. So.
Yeah, actually, the first thing we should say to holders is that they don't need the node wallet all the time. You know, I don't know why they just want to sync it every day. They don't need to do that. You know, we have explorers for that purpose. Once you're a holder, you just need your public address, just paste in an explorer on wallet.smartcash.cc. You can actually download the wallet.smartcash.cc. It's the same wallet as well. And you don't need to sync any blockchain. You know, like you don't need to sync any node. Nodes I've done more for professionals as well. You can use it as a wallet, but use it only when you need it. To sync it every day. It's this version, and once you try to get a peer that is not up to date, and this peer just download the wrong blockchain and you get stuck. So that's why we're just releasing a version that enforces the new protocol. So you can only look to the new protocol nodes and you're gonna get your node synced pretty well. I just tested this version. Southern Miner and Greg and I were just testing this version yesterday and it works fine. I could sync my personal wallet as well. But honestly, as a developer, I don't sync my wallet every day. I just use explorers, you know. I sync because I need to sync. But from now on, probably the node wallet will be more stable as well. But as a tip from developers, from crypto enthusiasts, just use Explorer, man. You don't need a wallet every day. It's like 17 gigas every time you just download it. So easier, use it only if you need to send from someone else. From otherwise, just don't waste that most of.
Yeah, I think you bring a good point. I think
That's all
myself,
I have to say.
yeah, even myself, when you talked about that yesterday, I was like, yeah, that's not, I should actually do that. So I started to put the addresses in a notepad or whatever, and then I can just search or even bookmark with the actual integrated address. And in that way, I can just look at it. And then if I notice an issue, then I can go back to the wallet. So that could be for different cryptocurrencies, that could be for anything really. So I guess it's a good point. Obviously, we kind of learn every day, right? So I think it's a great point for people using it. If you don't need to start a smart node, you're just waiting for just monitoring the wallet, use explorers. Obviously I can put that put the links in the description as well for this video, and then you can just go on there, and then that way you keep track of it without opening the wallet. So I think that's a great point, because even people that have been a long time in crypto probably have never done that.
Yeah, man, it's like, honestly, it's much more secure, like most of people just use their wallets in the same computer that they do the work. So that's not secure at all, especially if you're just having your wallet over there, or if you're just using your computer in the network of your company. You don't know if there is a malware running, trying to find that wallet there.
Yeah.
How strong is your password, even if you have a password. So for security reasons, stop syncing every day your wallet. Just get a separate device, and then, okay, now this is my wallet computer that's use a VPN, so you can hide your IP. You never know if you have a neighbor that's a geek that's trying to find someone else, and do it with a lot of precautions, because your own bank, your own bank. I'm gonna repeat that. So just learn that, oh, it's not my money. Okay, your money can vanish, and then you're gonna
Mhm.
say, oh, this is not secure. That's not secure. No, you're your own security. So this Explorer is much more secure now.
Yeah, it's probably something that people need to keep in mind. And actually, myself, I have another desktop right there that I was running really slow, so I decided to reboot the whole thing. And then now I keep like the wallets on that. And obviously, you don't connect it or anything, or unless you really need to in that sense, right? So it stays mostly offline, turned off, or whatever. And then as you need, then you can get access to it. So I think that's probably a good idea. People even do that, and then even get their private keys as well, maybe on a USB stick or something like that. So you can always, uh, you know, call it back if you need to on a different computer or whatnot, right? So
Yeah, that's a best practice. You need best practices. And otherwise, you shouldn't run a wallet like this. You're probably in a super risky situation.
yeah, exactly. We don't know what really, like you said, who's around us, who's trying to steal our stuff, and obviously, as the prices go up and even crypto gets more popular, obviously there'll be demand for that, and I think more hackers and so on will probably try to get access to it for other people or even for just themselves, really.
Yeah, and the past was like there was only hours Windows, but nowadays, even if you use Mac or Linux, you're exposed. So try to reboot a new installation. Use Ubuntu, that's super um, lightweight, or just Ubuntu minimal, and sync your wallet and be secure. Don't use crypto with other stuff. You're you're under risk. So that's what I have to say about the wallet. And activate your address and just hold your passive incomes. It's gonna be positive.
Yeah, exactly. The smart rewards, obviously, there were a lot of questions about that, but it seems to start, working properly now. I think people are starting to get um, the different problems and how to activate it, especially with like we talked about Koinomi. I think people had issues activating because then it was the wallet's generating a new address. So you got to go back in the tab where past addresses, and then you got to make sure you're sending back to the same address and not a different one, because then you're going to keep doing that over and over again, and it won't be activated, right?
Yeah, and in the case of Koinomi, like I really like the way Koinomi does. Like it prevents you to be exposed, because if you reuse the same private key all the
Yeah,
time, you still
true.
have.
Yeah,
So I think for security reasons they are correct, because in the case of Koinomi, you're always using your cell phone, and if you're using your cell phone, I'm sure you're using WhatsApp, Telegram, and getting for exposed more and more exposed. So I think they're correct doing that. You just need to pay attention from your previous addresses and swap your private keys from it as well. Export it, get the mnemonic words correctly, and just monitor this address, send to the same address, and then we're gonna be, and we're gonna have it activated as well.
yeah.
Same with Atomic. I never use it Atomic as well. Or I use Koinomi more sometimes, but I think from all of them, it's quite the same situation. Just pay attention. If you're sending back to the same address, you're gonna have it activated. And if you have any doubt, just double check in the explorer.smartcash.org. That is our SAPI. It's gonna show you badge that if you are activated for reward or super reward, if you're eligible, and if you have a zero and you're eligible, it means that you're going to be eligible for the next week, not this one, but you are activated. So don't panic. Don't panic all the time. Just eligible. Yeah, you're going to get the reward.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's on Saturday. I don't remember what time it actually does it. I think here I think it's in the afternoon, Canada time, so New York time. So check different countries, verify, just wait for that portion. And usually the rewires come a bit later after the like once the cycle has started, right? I think it's kind of 200 blocks or something. So just allow it some time to get to those blocks before you start asking, I didn't receive anything or whatever.
Wait, man, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. It's not a day. It's between blocks. So that's the math between that. It's gonna spread in a few other blocks and more holders, more blocks. So just wait. You're gonna get. If you don't get on Saturday, on Sunday, you're gonna get to Monday or Tuesday, but you're gonna get no worries.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's hard to stay patient, obviously, and we totally get that. In the kind of the short term, are there any projects we're working on at the moment that'd be worth mentioning, or anything? Is it just kind of fine tuning some of the wallet features?
The Smarthub, and it's a DEX hub. It's now downloadable, and you can use it, as I mentioned. But you're going to need to use it with your private key or only your address. But it's a full centralized wallet where you just run in your own machine as well. But same precautions, always same precautions. We don't save your private key, we don't store it. It's a way of using your paper wallet as well. And we are working a way to activate your paper wallet. I personally like paper wallets. I feel more secure with them. If I don't have to store it in a computer, I feel much more secure as well. So I like this feature because I have my smart card, I have my paper wallet. I just scan the QR code with my address on it. Very straightforward way to use your paper wallets. It's one of the good features we are delivering it. And BusyBee. BusyBee is like a super nice feature. We're working on it as well. It's a portal where we're gonna post some tasks we desire to be developed, and we'll put a price on it. And once you have skills for it, if you're outreach, if you're a developer, have different criteria, because we're for coordinators and we have different ways of thinking. But you just post your bid on there. We're gonna evaluate your GitHub name or your Medium name, or you're gonna check your post or your Twitter. It doesn't matter what you do. Different hives will post different tasks. And if you're a developer, a JavaScript developer, node developer, I will post a lot of tasks for online systems. If you're C++ or Python, core developers will post a lot of tasks as well. So we're gonna put a target price and you give your price. If you can do it for less or even for the same price, we want you on board. Now, if you are smart, and we are gonna pay you a bonus for using the locked payments. So we're gonna post a price, and if you agree to get it locked, we're gonna pay you with a really good bonus, and you're gonna get more happy.
Obviously, yeah. So we'll most likely talk about that later on as well. I think the paper wallet mentioned something really cool there. I've never actually used one, so I'll probably get into that, how to use it, and then eventually we'll probably follow it with a video and so on, just to kind of familiarize people with that option. I think that's a really good one because then you can really stow it away, and then it doesn't appear on any system or anything. So obviously that's really the key, I think, to keep it away from anyone that can access a wallet that or private key or anything like that.
And being with your paper wallet is the most secure way. You don't store it anywhere, and so you're zero risks. That's what I talk about. Not syncing your wallet all the time. Use a paper wallet is quite positive. If you super understand nodes, you just can check and send from a private key using the Smartnode key as well, or Electrum. But yeah, try to be more secure all the time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so thanks a lot for your time, Enrique. We're gonna end this now, and then hopefully we'll get that chat going again on maybe other subjects or topics. maybe talking about BusyBee or other things. So thanks for coming up on the show.
Okay, thank you, man. See you.
Thanks.